All right, let's go now to Ohio Republican Congressman Warren Davidson. He is a former Army Ranger, so he knows this topic all too well. Congressman, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for covering it, Kennedy.
So it's interesting because a lot of the liberty-minded men and women in the military I talk to they're the ones who are most hesitant about these actions and the mission creep that oftentimes follows when we go to new places with good intentions for, supposedly a worthy cause, but end up sacrificing so many lives and so much money and time.
Yeah, I think cautious is the right word. That's what our founding fathers were, and probably the best way to illustrate that is Federalist 69. And they drew the clear distinction between what they were setting up in the Constitution and what they had declared their independence from by saying the difference between the king and the president is while the king can lead the army and the president can lead the army, the legislature declares wars in the United States of America. And a lot of people will say, well, this wasn't a declaration of war, it was a mere strike. And as Mike Lee made clear, and you referenced in the earlier segment, the War Powers Act gives the president the power, frankly, even the duty to act. And we would expect him to act to protect America. But this was a retaliatory strike against Syria's government for actions taken against Syria. So that's a very different thing than what is addressed in the War Powers Act.
It absolutely is, and it's also perhaps not an expression from Syria, but rather from Russia. And we don't have full proof who ordered the strike, what they're capable of, and what they're going to do moving forward, which makes you wonder, is the United States now the chemical weapons police?
Well, I don't want to doubt Secretary Mattis or our president. They say they have credible intelligence. I believe them. I applaud the fact that they put together a coalition that includes France and the United Kingdom. I just wish that they had taken the time to give Congress that read-in, that we should know not only that there's an attack, but we should know that the basis for that attack. I look forward to the briefing tomorrow.
Yes.
Secretary Mattis is supposed to do that. I think that should have been done last week.
I really do. I think, the one thing about having people with a lot of military experience around the president, what it shows is, these are people who do not take military action lightly, unlike someone like Hillary Clinton, who is a warmonger with no experience, which makes her so much more dangerous. I want to read you two tweets, and I want to get your reaction to it. One is from both from fellow congressmen of yours. One from Justin Amash. It says, these offensive strikes against Syria are unconstitutional, illegal, and reckless. And Kentucky Representative Thomas Massie says, I haven't read France's or Britain's constitution, but I've read ours, and nowhere in it is presidential authority to strike Syria. What do you make of those two statements?
Well, I think Massie said it well, and frankly, earlier in the week, in the days ahead of this strike, there was action here on Capitol Hill trying to make sure we did take those steps. And Justin Amash had tweeted a quote by President George Washington, who was our first commander-in-chief, the president of the Constitutional Convention, who knew well what the intent was, and Massie retweeted, at real George Washington had it right.
Yeah.
And I would say at real George Washington was exactly right.
All right. So when are we going to see another AUMF when it comes to military action in the Middle East? Because obviously the one from 2002 is outdated.
Right. And to be clear, I didn't hear the Pentagon claim authority under the AUMF. They simply referred to Article 2, which is, hey, he's the commander-in-chief.
Yes.
That's not what Article 2 says. Article 1 makes it clear, and as I say, the Federalists make it clear. The AUMF is very outdated. Frankly, it was stretched to its max against ISIS, and I've had numerous amendments that I've tried to get through to make it nowhere more clearly stretched than in Yemen, where al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula, who are clear affiliates of al-Qaeda, are fighting the Houthis in a civil war. The Houthis are Shias, Iranian proxies. And we're helping al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula defeat
so many actors,
Houthis.
so many reasons we shouldn't be in the Middle East at all. Congressman, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate your experience and your insight on this. Thanks again.
Thank you.